Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of TMG Talks. Today's episode is a really honest one. We're going to have some honest, interesting conversations, some conversations that I think are really going to resonate with the rest of the network and the wider industry. Today I'm joined by Beth Wildman, one of our wonderful AR directors and advisors, and Danielle Guest, one of our supervisors at TMG HQ. I think you two had a really important conversation back end of last year, didn't you? Yeah. And I think that's how you two started working together a lot closer. Something that comes up a lot is protection licenses that have not been utilised, and it's not necessarily about ability, it's about confidence, I think, headspace, time, being able to juggle things. Do you want to rewind a little bit and tell me a little bit about what happened back end of 25, that conversation that you had, Beth? How did that make you feel, and what kind of gave you the push?
Yeah, so I think we were having my annual review, and I kind of thought this may crop up a little bit, but protection had to take a bit of a backseat in terms of my personal life, working life. There's one of me, and something had to drop off, and it had to be that. It's not that I kind of stopped caring or anything like that. It was just, you know, there's only so many times you can log on at 3 a.m. and be submitting business until you absolutely crumble. And then it was a conversation we had about kind of surrendering my license, if you will, and we looked at, and I hadn't done any cases for the past year because I've got a young family, and it was just a case of what do we do to move forward, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think we'll come on to kind of how that's turned around for you since that conversation at the back end of last year. But you've obviously said yourself you did 0. Yeah. Kind of year to date in 2025.
Yeah.
Danielle, how was that conversation for you, and having to have a really difficult conversation about potentially removing somebody's protection license?
The strange thing is as well is I was new into that particular role in terms of I'd just taken over supervising one-person firms, which is where Beth falls in. So to have that as one of the initial conversations is probably not the one that you want.
Hi, nice to meet you, and Danielle.
Yeah. By the way, this is what we're going to talk about. But I think from the off, I could tell that Beth was almost gutted, that you were a bit like, I don't want it removed. I do want the potential to be able to use it. It's just that it's just not being my priority.
No.
So I think that's where exactly what you said, Bex, it's not sometimes a skill, it's like, right, let's work with this person, and that's exactly what a supervisor should be doing. So it's a case of, right, let's work out how we can get you moving forward, let's look at the next steps, and then that's kind of where we decided what our plan were going to be to try and get Beth moving forward and progressing, which inevitably is what she wanted to do.
And it's worked.
Yeah, I think possibly I needed a bit of a kick up the bum, and like I say, it's not that I stopped because I didn't care or whatever. It was just I physically couldn't, and then you almost get stuck in the rut of, right, well, I do protection, I pass on my I do mortgages and I pass on my protection to you guys or whatever, and it's just like you're churning them in and out, and then you're like, right, okay, I've got a bit of time off, rather than thinking, right, I've got an hour here, let's just battle through what we can and do the insurance side of things. And I think it's just me being more strict with my time, which now obviously I needed that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that conversation that you had, but you mentioned obviously juggling things. You're a mum of 2.
Yeah.
You're balancing everything on that side of things. Talk to me a little bit before that conversation with yourself and Danielle. What did life look like a typical week or a typical day in the life of Beth?
Yeah, well, wouldn't you like to know? I suppose it's still very much how it is now. The only difference is my kids go to nursery kind of an extra day, so I've got another day freed up. It's haphazard, is probably the best way of describing it. It's work when you can. Obviously, I've got my appointments booked in, and I've got my days where I do my appointments, but other than that, it's just parenting and then jumping on when the girls are in bed and kind of just making things fit for my family life, really, which it does. It's hard, and sleep is a distant memory, but it's worth it because I love the work, and I love my life. I love my home life, so can't complain.
Yeah. So you've been with us 2 years. I think we've just
had my second anniversary. Yeah.
And how old are your little ones?
1 and 3, so there's a year and a half between them. So that was a sensible choice. So I set up Wildman Mortgages when my youngest, obviously I was pregnant with her, so I then was managing a new business with 2 under 2.
I think Beth said to me at one point during one of our many discussions about that was the biggest factor for her. She was physically pregnant at the time when she was making decisions.
Massive. That was absolutely
and
massive.
she's making them big decisions and trying to work out. I mean, and we never know how it's going to work out.
No.
Beth didn't know us as a network at the time, so I think that plunge was definitely harder because she was carrying one child.
Yeah, it was the uncertainty. I mean, you've got the logistics of having a 1-year-old, but then you also think, I've got another one to throw into the mix here. How am I going to do it? Why am I moving network? But I've never, ever, ever looked back. Best decision I ever made, honestly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Danielle relates because she's got 2 girls, haven't you?
Yeah.
Working mum as well. How do you find, I know yours are a little bit older, but how do you find balancing like your priorities in a work life?
Yeah. I think sometimes it can work both ways. So children that you've got their age probably don't notice that much whether you are still working or whether you're doing anything and that kind of thing. Whereas mine got to an age where they started asking me questions. So if it were a weekend and I'd pick a laptop up, or I'd book a week off and I'd still pick a little bit of something up, or whatever it may be, they do, as teenagers do, ask a lot of questions. So I think from the perspective of mine, I'm now in an era where mine are older. I've done all the kind of working part-time and being the one that's almost not been able to run with my career because of it. And they understand. Like, I talk to them about it. Yeah, they know I'm doing this today kind of thing.
It's going to instill that in them, though, as well, isn't it? You're going to put that work ethic in them, and I think that's just as important as being present. You know, they're going to have that balance when they get to an age too. So.
100%. Definitely. So yeah, it's fun to say the least, but I like our mine are at an age now where they do understand, and they get excited when I get excited about things, and so that's nice, definitely.
Beth, I always refer to you as Superwoman because I look at your stats, and now the protection side as well is flying, I would say.
Thank you.
It has been a massive turnaround for you.
Yeah.
But do you think, we talked about you being a mum, you've got your 2 girls, do you think they are a bit of a driver for you on that side of things?
100%.
Are they?
I think one thing I always refer to when we talk about, how do you juggle it all is I never had any maternity leave, which I kind of kick myself for, but I couldn't. I physically couldn't, because obviously we just set up and it's one of those you don't earn. So it's that simple. It's either work or, don't do anything. So I never had the maternity leave, which I always look back and go, oh God, these people have this beautiful bubble where just them and the baby for 9 months, 12 months, whatever. And I think, I never had that. But then also when the 9 or 12 months is up and they have that, oh my God, I've got to go back to work. I never had that. So I never had because I never went off. I get that. But also I'm never, ever going to, I might do 5 days, but split up all over the place. But it's all flexible around them. And I suppose I want to be very, very present. But like we've just said there, I also want to show them that, Mum's working. Look what she's doing. Look what she's built.
Look where we can go.
Look where we can go. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think, it's kind of, it works. It works for me, definitely.
Do you struggle with that work-life balance a bit like Danielle, or do you set boundaries? Are you like, Thursday afternoons, I'm off, I'm with the girls?
I'm supposed to.
Yourself.
She's ringing me. I'm not working today.
So Thursdays are the day that me and Matthew both have off, and we have it with them because they're both still at nursery, so obviously they're not at school yet. So we have that day with them. I'd be lying if I said I didn't jump on and do an appointment, and I always work in the evening once they've gone to bed. But that day, when they're awake, we're with them, we're doing something, and that's like our family day together. I suppose I have a work phone and a personal phone. I did that when I was first pregnant with Tilly, and I decided, right, come on, that's how we're going to have this separation now. If I'm not having any maternity, I need to park that phone, and I need to make sure that when that's off, I am so present. Anyway, I just carry around 2 phones now.
I'm going to say, so I'll send her something on a work phone. Yeah. It's her time to then clock off, if you like. So a work phone gets turned off, and then she'll message me back on a personal phone.
You've done that with me.
Yeah.
You rang me on your work.
Toxic trait.
It's cut off, and you've gone, oh, work phone died, I rang you on your personal.
Defeats the object. So clients just have both, and they don't know where I'm at. But I suppose it's helped me be a little bit more strict. But I'm not the kind of person to turn off. And I suppose I'm saying that as a compliment to myself rather than obviously it has its downsides, and I'm up, and if I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm like, right, I need to do this, and I'll just go downstairs and log on.
And compliments to herself, Beth is not very good
No.
So a lot through like our journey and how it's gone as in supervisor and advisor has been reassurance with Beth that she's taken the bull with its horns. She has said that she wants to keep that license. She meant it. She's done what she needed to do to get it back, and then not only that, she's then followed through and done the business.
Absolutely. So let's rewind a little bit on what you said. She did what she needed to do to keep the license. So what was that process? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, so I suppose it was the fact that from a regulatory point of view, I'm guessing I hadn't, because I hadn't done anything there, the training wasn't there, my kind of knowledge on it maybe wasn't there, and I can't say I've ever probably progressed this side of it as much as I should, even, in other companies. I think it was mortgages, and that was just a little add-on, that's, I'll offer this as well. But to have actually be completely clued up on it, especially after some time off, I suppose we sat down and I basically had to go and retrain.
Yeah, back to induction.
Yeah, back to induction with it.
Beth went back on the induction, and then again, it was the part for me that's saying utilise who we have internally. The compliance team are happy to sit you through as many cases as they need to sit you through before you walk away feeling comfortable. And I think it's that, I say it to people day in, day out, don't feel like you're a burden. We want you to ask for the help where it's needed, and just look where it gets you.
And I've never felt like a burden. Nobody's ever made me feel like a burden, just to make that very, very clear. You guys are all so supportive. That's a me problem. That's me that thinking, oh God, she's here again.
But speaking of that, right, I think I'm getting personal here.
I'm up for that, that's fine.
You come across on the surface as very, very confident, okay? Yeah. But I think there's something deeper there, because to get you on a podcast like this, to get you in front of a camera, I think that's a big deal for you.
Not
right?
my ideal scenario.
It's not your perfect scenario.
I think, I can't remember whose words it were when it were suggested from me that I really want to get Beth on. Look, I feel like this is a story to be told. And someone went, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a favour. I've got one in the bank now. You owe me one back.
But just on that note, do you have any, what if I fail? What
Always.
if I don't achieve?
I'm waiting for the bubble to pop constantly. From the minute I stepped into the industry, I came in through a state agency, did a couple of, literally 6 months under a corporate, and then kind of moved on to a smaller company before coming here and setting up on my own. But I just kept thinking, God, it's snowballing and snowballing. Everything I go on to, it's like, putting it bluntly, the income is just going up and up and up and up. And the referrals and, you look at your Google reviews, everything is just going up and up, and it's just continuous growth. And I think it's got to stop at some point. When's it going to pop?
When are you going to realise it's not?
No. Retirement.
I think one of the other conversations that we had, it was literally just a check-in. I like just to pick the phone up and say, how are you getting on? Making sure that we've got that there as well. I don't want any advisor sat at home, especially when you work from home. I don't think there's anything worse than loneliness and thinking, oh, I need someone around me.
It is a lonely job. Yeah, it is.
And during that conversation, I was again telling Beth how she's smashing it, and I'm proud of what she's done. And she'll say, yeah, but am I doing good enough? Is it good enough? Because I'm seeing people out there with different figures, and I'm like, you need to stop comparing yourself to anyone else and compare to your journey and what you're doing and where you've come from and where you've got to, not where someone else might be on a leaderboard. Because
it's natural to compare, isn't it? But yeah.
Would that be your typical approach to kind of building somebody's confidence?
Yeah. You can't go from 0 to 100 straight away. You practically have. But I again a conversation on an evening we had, and I said, right, take a step back, look at what you've achieved in that time, and look at your journey and you just said it. The income is going up and up and up. You're seeing the rewards on the back end of it. And I think that's probably what some other advisors across the industry won't necessarily look at if they're in the same boat as Beth, and they might not necessarily been doing it just because of either time or family life or whatever it is.
Routine of not doing it as well.
Yeah. And then you see it and it's like, right, okay, the penny's dropped. In fact, I said to somebody the other day, in fact it might have been an email to Scott, and I responded and I said I genuinely believe that this protection side of things with Beth, the penny has dropped.
Yeah, it has. And it needed to.
Yeah.
It was stuck in limbo, and it was just like, whatever. And then, yeah, if we hadn't have had that conversation, I'd still be back where I was in November. So,
yeah.
What did you see in Beth that made you think she needs the time invested in her? This lady right here, she's got something in her.
Will's the biggest thing for me. When I work, and this is going back to me personally in my role, me working with, I don't just come in day out and cross the T's and dot the I's. I want to see people progress. Mm-hmm. And as a supervisor, that's what your role is. So when you then see that happening, it's literally unfolding in front of your eyes, just because we've sat back and said, we need to do this, this and this, it helps that we also get on a personal level, just because I think we're as daft as each other.
Absolutely, yeah. Can't argue with that.
But we can also pick the phone up and be a sounding board, and I think that's important.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, very much so.
Not to be picking the phone up and feel like you're speaking to a robot that's talking about numbers or whatever it might be. Actually picking that phone up and just thinking, do you know what? I just want a bit of a rant, or I just want to ask you your opinion on this, or whatever it might be. So I think that side of it is...
I think that's what makes it easier for me as well, definitely. If I was picking up the phone to, I don't know how else to phrase it other than a square, it'd be a lot more difficult, but I can pick up the phone and Danielle literally can pull what's in my head out. Yeah. Like I do struggle. One of the reasons I was nervous about this is kind of articulating, getting from here to here without some expletives.
I relate.
Without
on a daily basis.
Yeah, well that's it. And I think without expletives that may come out as well, just as like a sounding board, if you will, while I'm trying to figure out I'm malfunctioning. Yeah. But I think you just I can just go, and she'll go, right, this is what we're doing.
Let's just break that down.
And this. Yeah, let's get that brain fart and go, right, let's move
translate.
With it. Yeah, exactly. She's great for subtitles, so it works.
Not for my own.
Not for her own, no.
Beth, you've obviously had an amazing career so far, and your journey, because I've known you a long time, prior to Wildman Mortgages, and your journey from that point to now, it's amazing.
Thank you.
And obviously you've openly talked about when's the bubble going to burst, and things are going really, really well, which is amazing. Yeah. Have you got any tips for somebody maybe not in that position at the moment that wants to be there, that could be struggling in any way? Maybe it's balancing time, maybe it's do they want to take the leap into launching their own firm?
I think you're going to say you're doing your typical Beth again, but I don't know if it's luck or what. I don't know. I don't know if it's a combination between, obviously I am very hard working, and I think you've got to put in the hours. The first 2 years, the most difficult, without a shadow of a doubt. Like you think, God, what am I doing? What is going on? Yes, the income's there, but it just feels like every single task you've got to do is so difficult. So I do think once you hit that kind of 18-month, 2-year period, things become a little bit easier. You get your routine, your compliance becomes much quicker because you know exactly. It's just simple. Yeah. And it just becomes a process, really. But tips, just don't have a social life. That's a good one. No.
I think you choose not to have a social life sometimes.
I'm happy. My little house on the hill with my family, that's me. I don't need anything else. But I suppose just hard work, and also not listening to, pardon my French, the corporate, because I started off and I remember my manager at the time when I started under my first firm as a trainee. I'm not sure this mortgage advising is for you.
Like, so that's you.
Yeah. I mean, because I was fretting, because I was stressed, and because I was like, I don't know what's going on here, and it comes out in a way of it sounds like I'm going, I can't do it. But that's just me going, right, come on, and it's only because I care. So I think to have less pressure, and just, I wish I could tell myself 5-6 years ago, it's going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Like, you're still going to be doing this job, and you're going to do it better than you've ever done it without anybody above you telling you what to do.
And you're doing more.
And you're doing more than all right. So yeah,
thank you.
I think that's probably going on from the back of what you said from a supervisory point of view. Is I think that's a lot of new brokers to the industry's mistake, almost, where you feel like it's going to fall onto your lap.
Yeah.
That's, like you said, the first 18 months, 2 years, you need to.
It's a graft. It's a real graft.
And you have to have your head in it and be willing to do that graft for it then to obviously reap afterwards and be like, okay.
And then I think it then actually doesn't fall into your lap, but I suppose it does become a little bit more natural because, you know, you 18 months, 2 years has passed, and that means that you start getting remortgage clients. All your referrals are passing on. If you've done a good job, it will literally just follow suit.
Yeah.
So it kind of, rather than people being so swept up on, I've got to find leads, I've got to do social media, and social media is great. Yes, it's very, very powerful, but naturally these things will come if you do a good job, honestly.
It'll just flow. You get your referrals, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, it's
clients.
Most of mine are client referrals now. I have to like take a step back from social media because I just think it actually works too well.
Yeah.
It does. It just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
And I just think, and I know it's all about being consistent with that kind of thing, but I just thought, well, if I don't need to be consistent, what a luxury. What a luxury.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I remember a conversation with you when you wanted to push your social media more, and we were talking about that, and you were also at the same time, in the same sentence going, but I'm too busy.
It's because I want to do it all. I want to do it all.
This is that scatterbrain coming back out again.
Absolute scatterbrain. I want to do it all, and I want to be the best at every single element. So it's social media, protection, insurance, you know, mortgages, all of it. And then I think in hindsight, the reason that conversation took a back seat was because we then moved on to that, and I thought, well, you know, the income is going to be coming from there.
Yeah.
And you're servicing your clients properly as well. It's all one big package. And actually, I really enjoy the protection side of it.
Yeah.
Like, you get to know your clients a little bit more. It's very personal. It's, I think you become more than just, not that my clients are ever a number, but it, you know, you kind of touching base and getting a little bit deeper with obvious things like medical.
Yeah, it's personal. It's more personal questions and that kind of thing. And I think that's probably what sets people aside when it comes to protection.
Yeah.
People binds people.
Yeah.
So essentially, if somebody's willing to have an open conversation with you, then conversations will happen more naturally.
Yeah.
100%. I think, listen, you've done protection before. Let's not get that.
Yeah.
You're not new to protection.
No.
It was about your priorities and helping you manage your time better. So that's not the focus of you weren't doing anything.
It just had to drop off.
Absolutely.
Something had to.
Do you, would you go back in time and maybe tell your past self something that maybe it's not as hard as you thought, or maybe...
I don't know, it's a kind of an internal battle, that one, because could I have actually done it when I was already kind of at full capacity with what I was doing, and obviously a newborn and a toddler? Do I regret not doing it? No. The clients were still, you know, serviced correctly and getting their needs were met, just not directly with me. Yes, I'm a control freak, I want to do it all, but do I regret that happening? No, because I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't have, you know, gone full throttle with it. So yeah, no, I just think, kind of wish I'd have said to myself, just, it's all right to take a back seat, because although I still did, I beat myself up about it. But actually, it's the right thing to do. Yeah.
I think best words at one point was, I literally needed a Danielle kick up the backside.
Yeah.
In the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
I've not quite kicked you yet.
No, I'll be running. I'm off. See ya.
As a supervisor, Danielle, it must be quite hard to have some of these conversations. And I know we've already touched on this a little bit, but how do you balance support versus accountability for your advisors?
Tough one. Yeah, definitely. And I think as you progress as a supervisor, because as I say, it's a newish role for me under TMG, you have to get the balance right. You have to get that balance right. And I think it's the way that you go into it and have the conversations, and who's on the receiving end of the conversations. If you've got somebody that's willing and open and like, right, okay, you're right, I've not been using my license, which essentially means it's risk to the client if you then have a conversation over protection. If you then sit back and go, literally, right there, so how are we going to do it? This is what I need from you, from a network perspective, and to make sure that we're keeping you safe. Outline the guidance of what we've got and what we need to work to stay competent on that basis, and open conversations.
Open conversations
is my biggest thing.
Which is easy when you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But, you know, I suppose everybody's different, but I suppose it has to just gel. I don't know how somebody couldn't gel with you, but I don't, but do you know what I mean?
I don't give them a choice.
Yeah. You will be my friend.
So yeah, I think that for me, communication massively. I think if I had to tap myself on the back about anything, it would be that I feel anybody who is under my supervision is able to pick the phone up and speak to you. And I think that's the biggest thing from a supervisory point of view.
Being approachable.
Yeah, being approachable and just honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a nice way.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with an honest conversation,
No,
is there?
they need to happen as well. In the industry we're in, they need to happen.
Yeah.
And it would have been maybe a completely... I never thought that this was going to be a thing with Beth because I could see it from that initial conversation. And I physically came away from that phone call thinking she's going to do this.
She's gonna smash it.
Yeah. Whereas there are them conversations that then go on after that where it's like, right, okay, we've gone down this route and then you're still not either wanting to do it or fulfilling the needs for your clients. Again, so then what is our next plan? So definitely holding people to accountability. You've just been easy for me.
Can I have that in writing, please?
It must be quite rewarding for you, though, to keep an eye on Beth as an example's figures throughout that journey and seeing that pay off.
Yeah.
Albeit it's Beth in this example doing the work. You've had that conversation, and if that conversation hadn't have taken place, we wouldn't be getting PBs on the protection side.
PB. Take a bow.
Hell yeah.
Very rewarding. And
Yeah.
if somebody said to me, what's probably the bit that you enjoy about your job the most, that would be it. If you see somebody, whether it's minimal move of moving forward, if you've supported them and given them the tools that they needed to. And one of my biggest pieces of advice for anybody that sits under a network, take advantage of the people that are in the network, especially from like our level, who we know we're approachable, there to support. It's using them facilities to think, right, okay, I need to get here, so let me rely on my network and let me speak to the people that I need to speak to is a big one.
Yeah, I know the team day in, day out at TMG, they actually care.
You can tell
here
that when you
to-
pick up the phone. You can, and also a problem, because you do have problems. Obviously, it's rectified. It is. Even if it's not that day, you'll have an update that day. Like, okay, I'm still working on it or whatever. Like, you can, anything is sorted.
So Beth, talk to me.
Go on. Where are we going now?
You're just over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You're looking at going out on your own, seeing what's
Yeah.
out there. Why TMG?
Why not? Surely that's the question we should ask. Honestly, the firm I worked under before, this is a cop-out and I'm really sorry. The firm that I worked at before used OMS. I didn't want to start under a new system. So obviously I knew TMG, I knew you, I knew Scott. There was no reason that I should have gone anywhere else anyway. But selfishly, for the ease of, I know that I'm going to just have to grab the laptop when I can because I know what's coming with the next few months. I thought I need to stay on OMS. So that was one of the driving forces, being
That
completely
makes
honest.
sense. That makes complete sense. As an advisor, that's what you're using day in, day out. You've got to know. Let's be honest, at that time you did not have time
to
be
learn a new
retraining.
system. I think it was just better the devil you know to start with, and I know I've just described you as a devil, but honestly now I'm 2 years in. Yeah, I
Don't
get
clip this one.
But now we're 2 years in, never ever ever looked back. Like, I suppose you're supportive when I need you, but also you leave me the hell alone when I just need some space.
Yeah.
All I want to do is sit here, write business, service my clients, have a nice life, and you fit in with that perfectly.
Have something that complements it.
Yeah, it complements it perfectly. It really does.
Great stuff.
Amazing. So just rewinding a little bit back to the protection conversation, do you have any advice for somebody who is qualified in protection, holds a protection license, but isn't currently probably utilising it?
Yeah, I mean, once you write your first 2 or 3 cases and you see the income, you'll carry on, I promise.
Hey,
honestly.
absolutely.
We're all doing this for a reason. If I could be in the Bahamas on, with a pina colada and not working, I would be. We're all in this for money, ultimately. Yeah, the love of the job comes alongside it, but that's our driving force. We're not in,
it's not charity, is it?
No, and we're not in kind of financial services to do anything else. It's hard work.
Yeah.
So the money has to come with it. As soon as you start seeing it, it's addictive. I literally saw the first 2 or 3 and I was like, why have I not been doing this? What is
not waiting
wrong?
for 6 months for completion on this one.
Yeah, like we're in next. I just thought, oh my God, I've played a blinder. But yeah, money being the main motivation and getting to know you. I think the retention of your clients is important, and with that comes servicing them as a whole. So you know, you might do the purchase, you do the solicitor's survey, you do all of it, and then the insurance. Well, in 2 years they're going to love you. They're going to move. They're going to need to change their insurance. Great, whatever. Let's do it all again.
How do you find having those hard-hitting conversations? Because you know, selling protection, that's quite difficult because you'll be doing a proper job for your clients, and having those conversations about death, cancer, all of the hard stuff, the heavy stuff. How do you find that?
I think I'm desensitised to it. I'm so real, you know me. A spade is a spade. It's black, it's white. We're done.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get that from.
Exactly. So I think they probably. I have to tailor my approach, obviously, and it's quite heavy. Quite often my appointments are done kind of post 7 p.m. once the girls are down. So I'm having this conversation with people, and they're like getting ready for bed, and they're like, "The hell." So it is a difficult one, but I suppose I give examples of, you know, people have to claim on this. You might be 25 years old, but it happens. Yeah. It happens. So I think it's just about presenting them with the facts, whether they choose to proceed with it. Obviously, people are budget driven, but whatever elements they choose to proceed with has to be right for them, and no kind of one size fits all.
Yeah. Let's talk about you. Do you have any protection?
I do, absolutely. Yeah. The second I got pregnant with Tilly, I was like, right, come on, I need it sorted. Because ultimately, this isn't the right thing to say, crop this out. But when it was just me and Matthew, we just thought, do you know what, the mortgage isn't that big if one of us dies. We'll be fine, we'll make it work, whatever. But I wasn't really in the industry that much then, so I suppose I've become more aware of it. I've been opened up to it, but the second I got pregnant, I had suffered a little bit with some anxiety with pregnancy with my first particularly, and I was just like, I was spiralling really. So
it's interesting because like kids were your push, weren't they?
100%.
And it makes me wonder what other people's push is. I'm sure kids is one of the biggest ones.
It has to be, but it's not sometimes. Most people, if they're having critical illness, for example, enhanced for kids, that's the element. It's got to be. A couple of quid more expensive, but why would you not cover your kid?
Yeah.
Not always. Sometimes, well, it doesn't matter. If something happened, like, we'd be fine financially. I mean, I get it. You'd be fine financially, but also, like, look at it. It's your child. Cover them, goddamn. So,
I think one of the, probably the bigger kickbacks as well is, I'm young, I don't need any.
Yeah,
So
but that's the worst way.
I'm guilty of that, I'll be honest.
So,
you know?
right, well, we're having a chat today.
Eyes are lighting up.
No, but it is, and I think we all do. And then I think as you do get slightly older, and you have experiences around you that do happen to younger people, you do think, gosh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do need to. You need to
Your
be
eyes
aware
open,
of it.
don't they?
Yeah,
very much so.
100%. Definitely.
Danielle, how often are you having the types of conversation that you had with Beth back in November? How common is this scenario with advisors that you've dealt with so far? Advisors that you hear about? When I say this scenario, protection license held but not very much sold.
Yeah. I can only speak for the advisors that I supervise, and it's there. The conversation is needed with a handful or more people, and it's tailoring that conversation around that individual. Everybody's got a different circumstance. As we've said, Beth was just literally, I forgot about it because I didn't feel like I'd got enough time, which is in her head a good enough reason, but then under us we're like, right, okay, we need a bit more than that. Whereas somebody will be just, I'm not confident with it, which will be a very different conversation in terms of, right, okay, let's get you some training. It's being able to pull that together as to what is it about that individual. Are they not able to close a conversation? Do they feel awkward having the conversations with the clients? It's that sort of thing that you have to kind of drill down and think, right, how do I approach this one? But there are conversations that have been had and are ongoing.
I do hear a lot of write it or refer it, which, don't get me wrong, I completely agree. But I think as supervisors, it's really important to unpick the why isn't it being written in the first place. And I know we talked about confidence and training and time and all that side of things. some people just don't like doing it.
Yeah.
They just don't like doing it, and that's fair enough. But do we have a backup plan?
I had that exactly the same conversation with somebody last week, and the words were, "I do not like writing protection."
There's a lot that don't.
Yeah. So then for
But
us,
I think that's a fear. A fear and a confidence thing. Because I think once you start writing it, you'll like writing it. You will.
or the money at least.
Well, exactly. That plays a part, but you will.
But yeah, so then it's just tailoring that conversation again with that. Right. So what we're gonna do about it? Essentially, the bottom line is that as long as that client is not losing out one way or another, that's what we need as a network. But it's finding whys, for sure.
Beth, I'm going to put you on the spot, okay? And you told me explicitly not to do this.
She loves it.
I was expecting it anyway.
Can you pinpoint in your professional life, in your career, one of your proudest moments to date?
Hellfire. Proudest. Probably my name above the door.
That's huge.
Yeah, that setup. I mean, doing that alongside 2 young kids and a very supportive partner, like that, definitely.
Yeah. Did I hear about wedding bells soon?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. August, 1st of August.
Oh, she's playing it down.
We'll see. See if he behaves or not. 1st of August, yeah, we're having a kind of outdoor teepee barn party.
Sounds amazing.
Wow.
Music, Greek barbecue.
That just screams Beth to me.
Just Bev's in a field.
Yeah.
Just nice and chilled. We're not kind of big white wedding kind of people. So yeah, exciting. Very exciting. No kids other than our own because we've nobody to babysit them. But yeah, looking forward to it. If you don't have to come. No, they're good fun. They can come. But yeah, it's just pretty low key, chilled out.
Love that.
A nice time.
We launch a business whilst pregnant. We have said child. We then have another child. We take no time off. We then add protection into the mix whilst planning a wedding.
And a house renovation.
Oh, and a house renovation. Sorry. Yeah, of course.
Of course.
What's next?
I think I lie down.
Lie down. Yeah.
I said to Matthew after this year, God, I mean, I turned 30 this year as well. I said, that's just stopping. That's not happening this year. I'm going to turn 30 another year because I haven't got enough time for that. But I said...
I'm now feeling the 40s nearly.
So I just said, let's just actually have a holiday and just have a year off life because I've had enough.
It's been quite an intense
It'll be
3 years for you, hasn't it?
He'll make us he'll make us move house or something. He'll throw a spanner in the works.
I've not finished with what I'm asking you for yet either. Oh, there's a list.
Oh, great.
Protection was just the first one.
Podcast every week. I'm busy. It's taken me 2 hours to get here. Can you not?
Can you sum up your journey?
Haphazard. Little bit haphazard, but also growing and growing. So I'm very proud of it. Summing it up is difficult because I've kind of been under been under a corporate, been under a small firm, and now under a network on my own. I guess summing it up is that I feel like I'm exactly where I should be, which is a nice feeling that I don't think I've ever had before.
I agree.
So yeah.
I think you are absolutely smashing it.
Thank
and
you.
I know you hate being put on the
So
spot.
no, I'm like,
you hate being told what you're doing.
Can you just listen to my compliment, please?
I'm like the bed button.
You're incredible, and we're honoured to have you as part of TMG, genuinely, and I genuinely mean that. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, but you are Superwoman.
Thank you.
I do think that.
It's very kind.
How you juggle it all.
Thank you.
Never be me. So you're very inspiring.
Thank you. Oh, stop it. I'm nice.
Let's not finish with tears.
No, never.
Thank you both for taking some time out of your day. Appreciate you've travelled super far to be with us today. Thank you both for sharing your stories, your journey, Danielle, how you support. And it's really interesting to see an insight and a bit of a snapshot of what a supervisor does day to day at TMG.
Yeah.
Because you do have massive impact. It's really, really important. And I do think it's a big role. So it's really good to have that perspective of it. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank